Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's webinar. The topic is Learn how SAP Product Lifecycle Management provides benefits to process industries. My name is Mathingi, and I'm a project manager here at Terra Information Group. I'll be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we begin, I want to mention a few housekeeping items. All participants will remain on mute during the session. If you have a question for our presenter, please type it in the question box in your participant panel. If we are unable to get to your question during the session, we will be sure to follow up afterwards. Today's presentation is being recorded. A link to the recording will be sent to all registered attendees shortly after the session. I'm pleased to introduce our speakers today. Mamta Agrawal is Managing Partner at Terra Information Group. Randy Redenor is Senior Vice President of Sales here at Terra Information Group. And we also have a Senior PLM Architect who is the presenter of today's session, Sanj. And now I'll turn it over to Mamta. Next slide, please.
All right. Thank you, Mathingi and team. And thank you all attendees for joining today's session. So agenda for today's session would be a brief introductions, a solution overview, and then we'll talk about some key capabilities of the PLM module, and then some key customers and the benefits. Next slide. So a little bit about TIG. We have been an SAP partner since 1997, and SAP has been our expertise and bread and butter. So we've been, excelling in different modules of SAP, including PLM being one of them. We have some rapid deployment programs for customers, especially this is of a lot of value to customers who have are already an install base and are using SAP for other purposes and don't have the PLM module in use at this time. So again, our rapid deployment program is based on our prior experience and industry experience and best practices. So basically what we do with the rapid deployment program is we have ready-made templates for all pieces of the project, which starts from blueprinting to configuration, testing, training, and go live. So basically we are not starting anything from scratch, and that cuts down the implementation time anywhere from about 50 to 70% at times. Again, PLM is one of those modules where it requires a lot of integration with different third-party systems are also within SAP, and that's something that we are known for. Excellent project references. TIG has been involved with several projects, and we basically have grown organically in all these years, and references we give a lot of importance to references, and that's how we grow our business. Again, industry best practices. The reason we are able to do it better than and faster than others is because of our expertise in the industry best practices that we bring to the table to our customers. And we also have global experience and have a presence in more than 15 countries around the world. All of our projects are fixed price and with milestone payments. That means that we have skin in the game and we are ready to billing and to take the risk. Flexible payment terms and aggressive pricing. And then, of course, training is a very important aspect of any successful implementation. So we have a number of different kinds of training programs and support options with very flexible models. Next slide, please. Again, some of the differentiators of TIG. I might be repeating myself on some of these points. Again, proven delivery methodology, which we have used over, throughout hundreds of clients, and learned from each project and added to our methodology and strategies. numerous awards and recognitions for connected manufacturing projects, 18 assets to accelerate implementations. This is what I was talking about regarding the rapid deployments. We build a repository of assets from project to project so that we are not starting on a clean slate for each client. We try to reuse our previous implementation experience and bring it from client to client. Close partnership at SAP helps us stay on the leading edge of the technology. We walk the same path that SAP walks, and we also support them and assist them with building some of these products. Total cost of service, which is basically, our pricing is very balanced with outstanding quality. Full employment model and have industry-leading low turnover rates. So most of our employees are full-time employees and have a very, very low turnover rate. Again, all of our resources are experienced in the industry and have an average of 10 years plus experience. Hands-on work philosophy for shorter time frames to delivery. Customer partnership is something that we really invest a lot in. So again, we are a small to medium-sized company, but the relationships that we build with our customers is more of in the lines of being an employee of the customer rather than just being a vendor. And leaner, nimbler, faster project teams focused on achieving business benefits. That's basically our motto. And our values, our quality. We focus a lot on quality, integrity, commitment, innovation, and solution-driven solutions. Next slide. Next slide, please.
Hello, Mamta.
Yes.
I'm clicking the button, but somehow
maybe try leaving the presenter mode and see.
Yeah.
What about now?
You move to the first, the previous slide.
That was an error slide.
Yeah, just move down, one more down there. And we are running a promotion here. Any of our attendees can avail of this promotion of free PLM assessment and consultation will be available after the webinar. So all you have to do is send us a message to Randy and we'll get the process started. All right, next slide.
Matika, is it possible if you can become the presenter? It seems like a problem with my computer.
Sure, just give me one moment.
Thank you.
Almost there.
Or if you want, I can try. Maybe clicking is making a difference instead of the keypad. I can try that.
Okay. Yeah, let me know.
Okay, let me try.
Got it.
Let me try. Okay, let me try. Mamta, should I go to the next slide?
Yeah, Sachin, you can
Hello.
take it over. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mamta. And can everyone hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, Sachin.
Yes.
Sachin, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. There is some glitch in my computer. Looks like some problem with the keypad. But let's start. So thank you very much, Mamta. And let me, this presentation is about SAP PLM, and we are specifically going to talk about, like process industry. PLM is very broad. PLM covers discrete industries, process industries, retail industries. PLM covers many industries, but today's presentation is more around process industry. We would be, I would be also scratching the surface today. There might be things which I missed because PLM is very broad, but hopefully what I tell you today would help you at least get started and at least get some thought process started. Can everyone see my screen challenges, this new screen?
Yes.
Okay. So we have been working, we Terra Information Group, we have been working with our clients for many years. And what you see on the screen are some of the very common and very important challenges which we see across our clients. So if I start on the top, like the lengthy cycle times, what happens is in PLM, like it starts with inception, it goes to product obsolescence. There are different functional teams involved. There is engineering involved. There is manufacturing involved. There is service involved. It is a completely integrated business process. Delivering product from idea to the consumer. But what happens is with our customers, one important challenge which we have seen is the cycle time from the inception to getting the product to the customer. The cycle times are long, and in today's competitive market, the cycle times cannot be very long. So that is one challenge which we have been constantly seeing with our customers. Another important challenge which we have been seeing is, in today's market, the consumer wants very unique products. So basically, the variations in the products have increased. It's no more like a make to stock, and the product variability is increasing with every day. Customer wants new products. For example, in food, in process industry, you would have heard, like today consumer wants gluten-free products, or they want organic products, or, even in the protein market, we are talking about the plant-based protein. So there is the recent trend in the industry is more unique products, which basically creates another challenge because the product development cycle has to be, has to adjust to these, like variations, and also in quick time. Another challenge which we see is the partnering issues, and we have like supply chains. The supply chains have become like really complicated, like right from your suppliers, your vendors, your, service partners, your product development teams, your consumers, your customers, the whole supply chain, the partnership basically has become very important. And this has also come as a challenge because the customers they always have a challenge to basically how to partner, how to collaborate with the supply chains, whether it's like an enterprise supply chain or extended supply chains. Another challenge is challenges around compliance. In today's market, the regulations are like they're increasing. The complexity around regulations are increasing every day. There is a lot of focus on regulations like TASCA or REACH or food quality and safety regulations. The regulations are increasing, and there also has to be a mechanism, technique, technology, tools to basically take care of those, like the complex regulations. This has been another challenge with the customers, because if 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 things are not regulated, it can create legal issues. It can basically ruin your brand. Another challenge which we have seen with the customers is, like they don't have robust analytics. They do a lot of their work on spreadsheets. They don't have smart insights. So with poor analytics, it really becomes difficult to plan things, forecast things, to really work on the KPIs, the right KPIs. So these are some of the challenges, some of the important challenges which we have seen with our customers. And this slide basically shows how SAP PLM can fine-tune some of these challenges, some of these bottlenecks. So with SAP PLM, again, it's with SAP PLM, things are not in silo. It's a very integrated solutions which work across your functional areas. Some of the functional areas I just told, like engineering, manufacturing, quality, procurement, service. Things are not in silo. It's an integrated process which helps to shorten the cycle times. Unique products. With SAP PLM, the technology or the interface, the user interface is innovative, and it basically helps to reuse, compare, invent new products variations. So that also helps with the challenge of getting unique products fast. Another success path with SAP PLM is better partnering, more collaboration with the supply chain. So basically, all the strategic partners can collaborate with help of technology. They can share both structured, non-structured information across the supply chain, and it basically helps to make decisions faster. It helps to do the product development more efficiently. With SAP PLM, again, compliance, it smoothens the compliance challenge, achieving compliance early and helping the compliance during product development. And finally, with SAP S/4HANA, you have a better visibility on the analytics. So there is like all, SAP S/4HANA is famous for your in-memory DB. It is famous for your analytics, whether it's like in the core SAP S4, it's like outside SAP S4. So the good thing about SAP S4 is the analytics piece, dealing with big data and smart insights, which helps to make smart decisions. So these are, some of the things which SAP PLM offers, which helps to take care of some of the challenges which I just described in the previous slide. All right. So these are some of the SAP PLM solutions. I said, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm not telling, all the holistic, like solutions which SAP has, but SAP PLM has to offer. But these are some of the important, I would say, important solutions. So solutions like your PPM, or solutions like your recipe development, solutions like to help with change management, solutions for collaborations like enterprise PD, and then of course, quality management has been there. So these are some of the solutions which SAP PLM S/4HANA offers. Let me talk about the key capabilities around these solutions. So PPM, basically PPM stands for Portfolio Project Management. With PPM, SAP PLM basically gives an offering by which portfolios, projects, initiatives can be managed in SAP. So you don't really have to use, standalone tools which are not really integrated with logistics. You can use SAP PPM for managing your portfolios, your initiatives, your projects, your resources, your timelines, and then the PPM solution basically, it just does not focus on your research and development projects. You can manage your IT projects, you can manage your capital projects, you can manage your commercial projects. So it's like an umbrella by which you can manage different type of portfolios, projects. So this is one tool which SAP PLM S/4HANA provides, which can help you to manage your portfolios projects. Recipe development is the core tool for product development, which basically the engineers, the research and development engineers, the product developers use to develop innovative products. So again, recipe developments get very, very detailed, but to just give some highlights as to what it can do. So first of all, recipe development, with recipe development, you can basically work with a lot of different things like ingredients or your compositions or your diets, which is not really possible in conventional, if you're working with materials management or production planning, it's not possible to do those calculations around ingredients or compositions, types, etc. It provides a lot of calculation modes, different type of calculation modes, which which I just told. With recipe development early in the product development cycle, product developers can also manage the processing information, how the process should be, which would further aid the manufacturing production engineers. Recipe development also has in place analytics. So basically, product developers don't have to go to the core, external systems, but the analytics is inbuilt by which they can see a lot of logistics information. Recipe development also comes with the compliance checks functionality. So basically, with compliance check, some of the regulations around food and safety, those can be embedded, and those can be taken care of, analyzed during the recipe development process. And then recipe development also has tight integration with your manufacturing, with your production. So it's not just engineering, but it also integrates with the down the line manufacturing production processes. Recipe overview. The next slide is about recipe overview. So with SAP, with S/4HANA SAP, it's shifting more on the Fiori side of things, and recipe overview is one important Fiori tile, which basically helps the research and development engineers, the product developers. So basically, it's a holistic, view provided to the product developer by which they can do their everyday job. So as you can see on the screenshot, it tells you which recipes would be valid soon, which were the last assessed recipes. It also has quick links to, you can create your recipes, you can manage recipes, you can manage your raw materials, etc. and of course, it also gives some more. It's more helpful to the users by giving a charts. You can have your bar charts, or you can have your pie charts. To basically see data in a more intuitive and a user-friendly manner. With S/4HANA, Recipe Finder is also very important Fiori tile. The Recipe Finder is more advanced search functionality, which SAP has introduced with SAP S/4HANA. It helps you to basically drill down across multiple recipe hierarchies. It helps you to do like your change impact. It helps you to basically it helps you to do the change impact better, because you can see like if you're trying to change an ingredient, not just the immediate recipes, but also like parent recipes which get impacted. So it holistically helps with the change management process. Recipe comparison is also a very powerful feature functionality with SAP S/4HANA, because I told you about one of the challenges, which was creating like variations, unique products. With recipe comparisons, it helps the product developers to basically work on the variations very quickly. So it helps to compare. It helps to do some simulations. So with recipe comparison, one of the challenges around getting unique products out of the door fast, it really helps on that challenge. With SAP S/4HANA, there is, one of the challenges was around partnership. So we also have with SAP S/4HANA Enterprise PD, by which more partnership, more collaboration can be done with the in-house functional teams, as well as your partners, your suppliers, your customers. It has a workflow-driven solution. So basically, it's no more a manual process, but all the parties involved are basically able to communicate and also get feedback using workflows. As of today, to our understanding, the collaboration feature, the partnership feature, is more integrated with the DMS solution of SAP. And SAP is basically working on some plan changes as to how the collaboration can be increased for other objects like bill of materials, recipes, etc. But to the best of our knowledge, as of today, it's still in the plan phase. So Matinga, I will take a break here. I will take a break. Have you received any questions so far?
Not yet. Please keep going.
Sure. So with SAP S/4HANA, again, like we have this UI5 technology, and things can be now available on mobiles or tablets using Fiori UI5. So it helps really the user community to work on their tablets, mobile, and so this is additional feature. This is like a standard, technology all across the functional modules, which SAP PLM also leverages. Benefits. So, what I discussed something about the product development platform like RD. I also discussed about the partnership features. I also discussed about the PPM features. So if, like we are seeing what all benefits basically SAP PLM, S/4HANA PLM provides. So the first thing is, like single source of information. So with like a PDM system like recipe development, all your product information is basically at one place. It's no more a silo. So users can basically see all the information at one place. They can leverage it. They can use it. They can they don't have to reinvent the wheel. So that is one of the very big benefits, that teams, the customer teams, don't have to work in silos anymore. All the product information can be at one place, and there would be less duplication, less confusion, and it would really help to make the product development process more efficient. And the second benefit, it's very important that as I told, it's not just like things in silo now, but all functional teams like engineering or your supply chain, manufacturing, everyone is interacting with each other. So it's an integrated it's a technology which basically helps for the integrated business processes. So that really helps to reduce the cycle times. Now, if there is a proper synchronization between all the teams, the cycle time for getting the product out of the door, it really reduces. So it really helps the customer being more competitive. Another big advantage is compliance. With SAP S4 HANA PLM, you can achieve more compliance now with like REACH regulations or your TSCA regulations or other like food and safety regulations all across the world. So it helps the companies to be more in compliance, and it helps the companies to basically do a better customer service, protect their brand, and also increase profits. That is also a very big benefit of with SAP PLM. And another thing is the user experience with the new Fiori applications, and with the new Fiori applications like Recipe Finder or with Recipe Overview, the user basically can do their everyday job more efficiently. The tiles, the technology is more intuitive, more user friendly. It's very role centric, so it really helps from a user experience perspective. All right. This is like a PLM success story we wanted to share with everyone, and basically how SAP PLM has helped one of a big US pharma giant. So it's a big US pharma giant. Existing architecture is basically legacy AS400 systems, and even your Excel. So you can also create like a lot of macros in Excel for your product formulations. So both like AS400 system or Excel macros for product formulations. Again, you can see the things are in silo. They're not unified. And then also the client had been using like the conventional project management tools. So for managing their portfolios, initiatives, projects, for their for their R&D projects. So what were the challenges? So the challenges were, as you can see, like there are like multiple legacy systems, and also like Excel. So the product formulations were not centralized. Which basically creates a ecosystem, like an inefficient ecosystem where the end users, the product developers, have to like waste a lot of their time searching like valuable product information, and then sometimes it leads to duplicating, sometimes it leads to reinventing the wheel. So with not having product formulation centralized, it creates inefficiency during product development. Another key challenge is no integration with logistics. Like if your your materials management system, your manufacturing management systems, your product developers, because they had been working on these legacy systems which were not really integrated with their ERP systems or their MES systems, like the integration was very time consuming. It was very manual. It was very error prone because things were not integrated. And of course, like using just project management tools, like the client had been using project management tools, and the project management tools are very like not real time. They're not integrated with logistics. So you don't really see what's really happening in the project real time, whether it's like around the progress of the project, whether it's about progress, like the project visibility, or the product development, like visibility, how the product development is happening. So solution highlights with, as like again, no brainer, SAP Recipe Development solution was implemented. Like it helps with the standardization. Things are more standardized. It helps to make like a central product repository, which is very, very critical. It helps to basically help with searching, reuse, which helps reduce duplication or reinventing the wheel. Now again with SAP S4RD, because with recipe development, it's integral part of the S4 HANA core. It's nicely integrated with logistics. So, things are no more in silo. All the business processes are integrated, which basically helps with more visibility, less errors. That's another big advantage. And then, of course, as client, we also implemented the PPM solution for managing their projects and their portfolios. So with PPM solution, the client was basically have a better, integration piece with their logistics. They could see how their projects were progressing real time. They could see the, the dependencies with the product development activities. So that was also, like one of the solutions which gave a lot of value to the client. And then, of course, with the RD, the client was able to increase the compliance, basically, the compliance obligations. So as you can see down, product development cycle times, reduction by 50%. So imagine if it's a central repository, imagine if the business processes are integrated, it would definitely bring efficiency to the process. So PD cycles reduction is no brainer. With PPM, like 75% increase in overall project visibility, more real-time analytics for the projects, to able to see bottlenecks or resource crunch or risk early in the process. And then, moving compliance in the product development process, the client was able to also adhere to the compliance, the regulatory, the obligations. So that also increased by 25%. Okay, I am towards the end of my, like what I wanted to present. These are, like SAP PLM. There are thousands of process industry clients which are using these. This is just like a few clients which are using the SAP PLM solutions. But again, there are like thousands of clients who are using the SAP S4 HANA, SAP PLM solution, and also eventually also moving to SAP S4 HANA. So Madhaki, this is what I wanted to speak about.
Sure. Sounds good. So let's see if we can address any frequently asked questions for our listeners. Can you tell us typically how long does it take to implement a PLM project?
Yes. So PLM basically, as I told, it's an end-to-end process from inception to obsolescence. So there are like a lot of pieces when it comes to PLM. This, as far as the timelines is concerned, the timelines varies. So it depends basically which pieces of the PLM the client wants to implement, and PLM is also very industry specific. So, but if I have to give an answer with SAP S4 HANA, some of the RDS, some of the best practices, some of the like model company solutions, if we are totally focusing on like a industry, then if we have to implement the most basic components of SAP PLM for that specific industry, it can be done with the help of Activate methodology within 6 months. I would say 6 months getting like vanilla components for the industry, for that specific industry.
Okay, sounds good. And how about a resource requirement from the client side? Typically, how many people get involved in a project like this?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the size of the client. How many business divisions the client has, and also what type of processes the client is trying to implement when it comes to PLM. So the answer is it depends on the solutions which client is trying to basically implement, and also the size of the client. But if I have to answer, for a medium-sized company, generally, we have seen a team of about 10 business users from the product development team, who are like the SMEs who basically work with the SI to help with the implementation. So I would say like for a medium-sized company, at least 10 business users, 10 SMEs.
Sounds good. Thank you. And lastly, if any of our attendees would like to contact our information group to get a free consultation, the information is up on the screen here. So please contact Randy or Mamta, and we'd be happy to set up a meeting, a discovery call, and help you, go through this process. And we are your partners all the way. And I think if we don't have anything else, we can conclude the webinar slightly earlier than planned. But thank you for all the information. Thank you for the presentation. And attendees, if you would like to contact us, please feel free to reach out to Randy or Mamta. Follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn and Twitter, and we'd be happy to connect with you. Okay. Thank you, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you.